Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? You know the voice, you know who it is. I am your host, Justin Emery. Thank you for joining me on episode 6 of Just in Time. I'm going to keep the intro short this week. Just follow me on Twitter at Justin Emery Show. Check out the website, www.justinpemery.com. You obviously listen to the podcast, so you know where to find it. But if you want to find it on other platforms, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, all that good stuff, go and check it out. But without further ado, and joining the show, finally, I get a chance to talk to the beautiful Alyssa, legal sex worker at Sheri's Ranch. She's on the line now. Hey, Alyssa, how are you doing today?
Hi, Justin. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
You doing all right in the quarantine? I know I know you mentioned, just like me, you're not one to go out a lot up until you're told you can't go out. So, how's that holding up for you?
Yeah, I'm pretty much a homebody anyway, so I really haven't noticed too much except for when I do go out to the grocery store that everybody's covered up and I'm scared. But I mean, it does kind of get a little mundane staying in the house, but I try and make the best of my time while I'm home.
Definitely. And I'm going to definitely ask you for your binge watching recommendations later on in this. So just keep that in the
Oh
back of
yeah.
your mind. Um,
Okay.
the first thing is I guess the most obvious question. How did you get started working at Sheri's Ranch?
That is a good question, and it's often asked a lot. I was working and living in Seattle, Washington, and I was working in the restaurant industry, working lots of hours, a single mom. A friend was working at massage parlors with the happy endings, and she noticed that I didn't have a problem having multiple partners, and she was like, "Well, you can get paid for what you do," and I was like, "That sounds like a good idea." So I tried it, and then I didn't know about legal brothels until a friend told me like a couple months after, and so found Sheri's website. I entered my application and went down a couple weeks later, and been there since.
So when you go into work there, are there like set shifts? Like how long do you go there for? Are you required?
Yeah,
Like what
so
is it
we
kind
have
of like the
to.
scheduling like?
Okay, yeah, we kind of make our own schedule. We have to be there for at least 1 week at a time. We kind of request what weeks we want, and if they're available, she'll give it to us. I usually do 1 week a month. And then I go in, we have 12-hour shifts that we have to be available for. It's usually like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. You don't have to necessarily be awake for that whole time, but you have to be available. But since I only work the 1 week a month, I try and make use of my time and work as much as I can while I'm there.
Now, I personally live in Vegas, but I've never been to any of the brothels, so I'm a complete rookie. And as
Yeah.
I'm assuming most people out there are as well, and they're pretty curious. So I come to the ranch and I want to set up a party with you. Explain the process of kind of what goes on there.
Okay, there's a couple different options to meet the ladies. Like if you have specifically wanted to see me, you can come in and you will be greeted by our hostess, and you let her know that you have an appointment with me. And then in a few minutes, I arrive and we can sit in the bar, have a drink together, get to know each other a little bit, and then we go on a tour of the ranch. And then we go to my room and discuss the pricing and stuff like that. Or if you want a little more open approach, you can either do a lineup and the girls line up in front of you, and you pick a girl from there after we introduce ourselves, or you can actually have like kind of like speed dating type style where you go in and you meet all the girls that are available, and then you kind of pick who you're comfortable with at the end.
Do you have a specific type of person that you like to see to come in, or is there like a specific kind of client that you cater to?
I mean, my specialty is the girlfriend experience, which is just kind of treating the experience more realistic, taking our time, possibly overnights with each other. So that's my favorites, but I really do enjoy couples. We have a lot of widowers that come in, or virgins. I'm pretty open to anybody as long as you're respectful and open to a good time. That's my type.
That's what I like to hear. I'm going to switch topics a little bit because I know you're a big
Okay.
sports fan. I know you're a
Yes.
UFC fan. Have you heard about what Dana White is doing?
As which part?
So he is
I heard he's a part of a lawsuit.
well
I
no
don't know.
he's actually in the process right now of securing a private island to hold UFC 249 next weekend, and he plans
Oh,
to hold
wow.
fights there at the island every weekend for 2 months because it is isolated and that he has a infrastructure in place.
I mean, that doesn't really seem like it makes a lot of sense because like with all like the takes like 2 weeks for the virus to show up. Like what if somebody pops in and doesn't know and then starts spreading it everywhere? I mean, that's kind of a ingenious idea if you have a bunch of money, but at the same time, I don't see it really stopping anything.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you thought that was the craziest or the smartest idea he may have ever had.
I think it's kind of crazy. I mean, smart to an extent, but at the same time, it's going to be stupid if one person shows up and wasn't tested right or didn't show up positive and it ruins everything.
I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. It's a combat sport. You are literally breathing, bleeding, sweating all over the person that
Exactly.
you're fighting against. Um, not me personally. I know a lot of people are into that, but especially with a virus, I don't know why you would risk something like that. But
Yeah, it seems very risky. I mean, it would be great entertainment for us all, but at the same time, you're risking everybody's lives that's there too.
I agree 100%. Who's your favorite fighter? Or a
He's
couple.
very
If you don't have
controversial right now.
maybe just one. How about a couple different ones?
A couple different ones, a little controversial. I know he's going through some problems right now with John Jones and his.
I'm a huge fan, so I'm right there
Yeah,
with you.
yeah, I love him. Back in the day, I liked Couture, Randy Couture. So oldie but goodie. Demetrius Johnson is cool. Um, I like Dominic Cruz. I kind of want to see him fight the little guy coming up. I don't like him. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. The one that just won the title over Demetrius Johnson.
Khabib?
Yeah, or no, the one that just the flyweight champion.
Oh, I don't know. UFC is like the one sport where I could usually just rattle off the champion off the top of my head for you.
Yeah,
I do not know, but I know who you're talking about, though.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever been to a big time UFC fight in person?
I've been to I don't know about big time, but I went to one at the Palm. I've been to a few at the Palms
Okay.
and a couple events. One of my family's members is kind of in the industry, so I like to go support them when they're there.
That's great. Now you're from the Seattle area. I know you're a Seahawks fan. Now
Yes.
I'm an Eagles fan, so we're not going to discuss the playoff game from this year, which coincidentally ruined my birthday. So thank you very much.
Oh
But,
no.
what do you think about the squad coming in this season?
I think it's going to be pretty good. I heard they just signed the new defensive end Benson
Yes.
Mayowa. I don't know his last name, so he seems like it's going to be good. I'm glad that Marshawn Lynch came back at the end, so I hope he stays around. He's my favorite, and Russell Wilson, of course, is indisposable. So I think we're up for a good year.
Yeah, anybody. It doesn't matter what team you are. You're a Marshawn Lynch fan. I actually just saw that the NFL released their all-decades team, and Russell Wilson was snubbed from the roster.
I know. I was like, why? Why would they snub him like that? And Cam Chancellor, I think, could have made it. But
I'm
yeah,
a big Cam Chancellor fan. Big Cam Chancellor fan. Do you think the season's going to start on time? I know they're having the draft on time. But do you think the actual season's going to start?
I mean, money-wise, I think they want to, and that's the goal. But reality-wise, I'm kind of like 50-50 there. I think it's going to be hard because it's another sport where they are pretty close contact with each other, and there's sweat everywhere and breathing. So I don't know. It's hard to say.
Entertainment-wise, selfishly, I could not beat the drum for it to start any more on time. But I just don't understand how logistically they're going to pull it off. And especially football is one of the sports where you actually lose some of the lust of the game when there's nobody in the stands.
Exactly. Yeah. The energy of the crowd and stuff. And like, especially the Seahawks 12s that create earthquakes with their with their noise and their cheering. Like, yeah, it's kind of like loses the spirit of it, you know?
It definitely does. Now, you call yourself the Pizza Princess. Okay? So
yes.
The most important question of this entire episode, you probably already know, but is there pineapple on your pizza?
There is most definitely pineapple on my pizza. Judge me or not.
I mean,
my favorite is half ham and pineapple and half pepperoni. I could eat like a whole pizza to myself.
The pepperoni side sounds good, but as someone who who isn't that big of a fan of ham or pineapple,
it's one of those things you like it or you don't, right? It's good though.
I definitely don't. Now,
One of my first jobs was working at Round Table Pizza, so that kind of created my love for pizza, and I love it.
Well, have you made any kind of outside of the box kind of weird creation pizzas?
I wouldn't say that. I like to keep it pretty general.
All right, so there's nothing that's like peanut butter and like salmon or anything on it. Nothing crazy.
Ew, no, I'm good on that.
Okay.
I will take a Nutella dessert pizza though. Those are bomb.
Um, so you're featured on in documentaries. I've seen you before. I've read some of your blog posts, and I've seen your YouTube series, Sheri's Cribs,
Great.
as well. Big fan of it. Have you always
Oh, thank
been
you.
someone who enjoys speaking in the public eye?
It's kind of funny that I do that because I'm actually really shy in person, and it's kind of like if I'm in a group of people, I'm like the one least likely to talk. But I don't mind. I enjoy being like a face of giving a positive, I don't know, front for the girls that work in the industry and kind of breaking the dark side of it, and all the people see on TV, like the drug addicts and stuff like that. I want to put like a good face for us, and I feel like I can provide positivity for our industry. So I enjoy it, and it comes easy to me. I don't know. It seems fun for me. I like showing people like the Sheri's Cribs. I love giving them a behind the scenes look of what it's really like working there. So it's fun.
Definitely. It when I looked through the your YouTube channel and saw the episodes, it's not anywhere near what I expected it to actually look like. Because you always think of you have like the movie portrayal of it, and you don't actually know what it's going to be, and that's a nice revealing like behind the curtain.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of like, and like hearing someone's voice and hearing them talk, you can see a picture, but like once they open their mouth, they can become a whole different person. So I think it kind of personalizes it a little bit, and I think it's been really helpful. I do need to get some new episodes up eventually. I was hoping to get some up before this quarantine, but hopefully I'll be able to get some more when I come back.
Did you guys have any date of when they're looking to reopen?
We're kind of going off whatever our governor says, which is
Right.
whatever Trump says. So as of now, till April 31st, I guess May 1st is our goal, but we have to wait until the mayor gives us the open for non-essential businesses to open. Although I consider myself essential, but I guess my opinion doesn't count.
Now, now, other than new episodes of the YouTube series, do you have any other new projects coming down the pipeline?
I've actually been thinking, it's funny that you asked me for the podcast because I've been thinking of starting my own podcast as well. So I think it would be fun for some of the
Very
girls
nice.
because there's a lot of girls that aren't comfortable showing their face. So I hope that if I take away the face factor and it's just our voices talking, maybe they'll be a little bit more comfortable sharing. So I think it would be fun to kind of have quarantine quickies with Alyssa.
Oh, that's a great name. That's
Thank you.
definitely a great name. I would highly recommend you consider starting that.
Yeah, it's definitely in the works this week. So we'll see what I can make happen with it. And then, I mean, I'm trying to, I've been wanting to open a business for a long time, of teaching dance classes. So hopefully I'm getting a brochure together so that when this is over, I can start pitching it to schools and daycares and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. What kind of dance do you want to teach?
I do like ballet and tap and jazz for little kids. I like the little ones. Get their minds creative and going and get positive energy going and getting good self-image and starting them young.
That's cool. I took a couple ballroom dance classes when I was in college to make up my physical gym credits because I didn't feel like playing sports anymore. So
That's so awesome.
yeah, so they offered ballroom dance classes, and I was a freshman. And I said, well, that'd be a great way to meet new girls getting on campus. So I signed up for all these ballroom dance classes. So I figured, maybe those skills will eventually come in handy one day. Keep them in the back pocket.
Definitely. I would definitely be interested in seeing those. That's actually one thing I've never learned and I've wanted to is take ballroom classes. So maybe I'll have the guts to do it after this.
So I had mentioned it earlier. I'm asking everyone to give me their quarantine binge watching recommendations. So what do you have for me outside of Tiger King? Please do not say that. Please do not give me that answer.
Oh my gosh, you took away the best one. I finished up a show. I don't know if it's been around for a while. It's called Lucifer, about like the devil coming to Earth. That's one of my favorite shows. So I definitely binge watched that. Especially he's into the sex and naughty things too. So it's like totally my era. I like pretty much been catching up on anything that's documentary wise. I don't know. I like watching the killer murder shows, How to Make a Murder. What else have I been watching? On cable, I'm kind of addicted to the 90 Day Fiance. It's so bad. Or The
Oh
Locked Up.
wow. Okay.
I know. The bad reality television, it sucks me in.
I'm
Um,
writing all that down. Bad reality television. The thing is there's things that since I have so much more time now to watch TV, and Netflix,
mhm.
Hulu, all the different things. I'm giving things a chance that I would never typically give the chance to, and there's all
Mhm.
sorts of like hidden gems on there that are like
Oh
full
yeah.
with bad reality TV, bad acting that is just a gem that I can't stop watching.
It's like Tiger King. It's like a train wreck you can't look away from. But
Yeah,
just keep watching. The Witcher was good too. I know that's been out for a while, but
The
definitely
Witcher.
went
Oh,
through that right
cool.
away.
I'm writing that
Yeah.
one down. I've seen it, but I haven't started it. But I'll write that down as your recommendation.
Oh yeah.
Before I let you go, let everybody that's listening know where they can, follow you out on social media, as well as, any kind of last words you might want to have to say to anybody that's still on the edge that might not be too sure about checking out the legal sex industry.
Yeah, I definitely recommend like even you, like people can come out for a tour at Sheri's Ranch. We get tourists like all the time. People come in for lunch. We have a restaurant actually at the ranch. So we have like we have old people come in and have their lunch and then go on a tour afterwards. Just kind of breaks down the barrier and you get to see what it's really like. It's safe and clean. We get tested every week, so I've never had an issue with any of that. So I think everyone should at least come in and see a tour and see what it's like. It's mark it off the bucket list. But you can find me on social media, Instagram and Twitter. It's Alyssa for you, Allissa, the number 4 and the word you. And you can also, from there, you can click on my profile at Sheri's Ranch. It shows my pictures and stuff like that, my bio. But mainly, I think Twitter is the best way to see my interactions. I post more there.
You heard it right there. Alyssa, thank you for joining the program. It was my pleasure to talk to you, and I'd love to have you on again in the future.
Definitely, yeah. Thanks for having me. I'd love to be back again.
Great conversation there with the beautiful Alyssa of Sheri's Ranch. That will bring episode 6 to a conclusion. Rate and review, preferably 5 stars. Check out the website, www.justinpemory.com. Follow on social media, all channels at Justin Emery Show. And you guys will hear from me next time.